Welcome to Guilford Sheriff 911. You know, folks, I really feel I have to tell you, you're going to hear some beating and banging going on. I mean, that's just the construction that's going on around here. That new jail that we're putting up is coming up. They're already working on the 7th floor now, but that's the beating and banging you hear. It's not in your TV. It's not anything that we're doing. It's something that Progress is doing. So I wanted to let you know that before we get started. Got a guest in the studio with us. We're going to be talking about a new program that's coming up right here in Guilford County, something that is near and dear to a lot of folks' heart, and especially this young lady's heart. Frankie Heath is with us, and she's going to be talking to us about People and Paws for Hope. And Frankie, welcome. Glad to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's certainly my pleasure, and I would like to say thank you for your 37 years of dedication and commitment to Guilford County.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's a labor of love. Now, you didn't need to tell everybody how long. But I'm still young at heart and still having fun and doing a job, and I appreciate that. And yours as well. I mean, you know, we've known each other for a while. We've worked on the similar projects and the same and that type of thing. Tell me about some of the things that you've been involved in before we get into your program.
I've been doing rescue now for about 30 years in Guilford County, and I've been bothering you that long over issues that I wanted taken care of, and you've certainly been kind about that and certainly interested in the animals. I had tried it in about 2003 to put a prison program in, and started working on that and wrote a manual that was about 100 pages thick, and was invited by the state of North Carolina, the Department of Correction, to participate in a program at the Guilford Correctional Center. We were there for about 3.5 years, and we actually put rescue dogs in to be trained, basic obedience trained by the inmate trainers who were taught by our behavior therapist and trainer. The dogs, when we shut down the program in October a year ago, October 2009, due to state budget cuts, we wound up with a recidivism rate that had dropped in general population from 39% to 6%. We had about 29 guys go through that particular through our rotations here, and we had 69 dogs in the prison program, and all dogs were adopted.
Mm-hmm. Now, these dogs that you had in there and the prisoners were matched up, correct?
Yes, we had 2 inmate trainers per dog, and they did an 8-week rotation, and we had formal graduation ceremonies, which caused an awareness that was very keen. Most times if there's a problem in the animal community, people really wait on everybody else to take care of it. But when you can bring folks from the community like yourself and our leaders here and bring them into an area where you actually see success, you see a dog that's just a wild buckaroo that comes in, and about 3 or 4 weeks later it's potty trained, leash trained, and crate trained, and can go to a home and be a good canine companion, then it's the success story that people want to hear. It's not the ugliness sometimes that we're seeing going on in our community today.
Tell me about some of the issues that you say wild buckaroo. Tell our viewer what you're considering a dog that maybe needs a little bit of training to go along before they can actually be placed.
These dogs come in right off the street a lot of times. They came out of every assortment of rescue. We got some from the shelter. We got some from a little bit of everywhere. And the dogs were off the street, sometimes had not been handled, certainly had never been on a leash. So the first day they hit the ground at the prison, the guys were delighted and excited and wanted to love and mess with them. You put a training chain around their neck, and all of a sudden you have a horse that's bucking. And they've never been potty trained. They chew. They don't have any social skills. They've never been around, a lot of them, in a close confinement with other dogs. They were put in a trailer, a training trailer, where we had formal structured like classroom, and the dogs learned to live together. They learned to eat in the same room. They learned to do all of the things that makes them an acceptable pet.
You know, one of the things that people don't realize that when they get a dog is that unless it is trained in that manner, then it's a real adventure sometimes. I mean, and a lot of folks end up adopting a dog and realizing, I don't have the time, I don't have to do this, to house train it, for example, and to teach it to come when it's supposed to teach it, to obey commands and that type of thing. they want a dog, want to give it the love and stuff, and they want to have the love back from it, but they don't have the time to really do the initial things that have to be done when you have an animal like that, do they?
No, you need to be prepared for a dog when you get it. You need to have the proper place for it, the right size dog, and you need to choose a dog according to your particular lifestyle.
Yeah, like if you're a say an elderly person, a seasoned citizen, you may not want a bull mastiff, for example.
That's exactly right,
Yeah.
because the dogs, even the breeds that get such a bad rap, if those dogs are in the right place and have the right people, are magnificent companion dogs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell me about this program you're starting. That People in Paws for Hope. I understand that you're a nonprofit and that you're attempting to basically do what with this program?
This program is going to be working in harmony with what's going on at state level and local level, with what you're doing and what the state's doing about two major problems, which is our children, our at-risk children, and our at-risk dogs. And the program is going to be set up with we're going to phase in about 5 programs over 3 to 4 years. And the unique part of our program is that we're not going into the repetitive cycle. You know, rescue has been in trouble for years and years, and we really can't count on rescue to take care of the problem. Awareness and teaching and education is really key to making this thing work. So we're doing a series of programs. Our first program will probably start in January, and we're pairing up with Yvonne Johnson at One Step Further. We're going to put rescue dogs and in fact, Marcia at the shelter has agreed to give me some of the shelter dogs to put in the program for court-ordered juvenile probationers to train. We won't be able to let the dogs live on site with the court-ordered probationers because these kids are going to be going home. So we're going to address trying to change behavior with these children actually in juvenile probation. And we figured that with changing behavior with the probationers still isn't going to cure that program. We'll find a home for the dogs because the dogs are going to be trained. And the kids that we're actually going to be working with, some of them we're going to be able to change behavior enough to turn it around.
So you're actually going to take kids who have been acting irresponsible, who have not been doing the things they're supposed to do, give them responsibility of a dog and make sure that they're following up with teaching that dog, and at the same time hoping that they're going to learn something themselves about responsibility, right?
What I'm trying to teach them is respect. If they learn it for the dog, they can learn it for themselves. They'll have some self-respect, and they learn it for the others. I'm trying to teach them compassion because the dog is a sentient being. It has feelings, and a little bit of messing with the dog, and you truly understand that. And you need tolerance and structure, and all of this program offers all of that. But I'm not going to stop with that because I can help the segment in the problem, but I can't stop the revolving door in prison. So we're falling back with my second program, which is Canines for Kids. The Canines for Kids will involve ambassador dogs. These will be certified dogs. I'll take a child that is preschool, young school, or middle school, that has learning disabilities and behavior problems. The ambassador dog will actually partner with. This is not a reward system. This is not a feel-good program for just petting a dog. The dog will be a reading partner, and the dog will actually sit for hours if it needs to with a mentor. The trainer will actually stay with the kids, and the kid will learn to read through and not be threatened. Most children don't want to read because they look stupid in front of the other kids. So this is a safety zone for kids to actually learn, and when they get through, we have intentions of giving them a book to take home with them with a plaque in the back with the dog's picture and a little dog paw print, and they start building a library. I teach them to love a dog. I teach them to respect other things. I teach them to maybe be comfortable reading and settle down a little bit. And maybe I teach them a value of books and education.
Now let's clarify this so we can, Frank. What does a dog have to do with this? What does a dog present to this program?
Therapy dogs are very patient. They sit still for 30, 40 minutes or an hour or whatever it takes for these kids to read. If a kid stumbles on a word, what if I say, oh, wait a minute, that dog didn't get that word right. Let's go back and rehash that word. Let's see let's tell the dog
So you
what
blame
that
it on
word.
the dog?
Sure. Kids really respond. The human-animal bond is the most powerful tool I've seen. I saw it in the prison. We had minimum level inmates who walk around with a little bitty Bichon under its arm and won't put it down out in general population and people laughing at them. They couldn't care less. I see a dog looking in their eyes and the dog gives them love and trust and all those things. That's something people can't give to a person. You can't give that to a person like a dog. That's just unconditional love that goes between the two. And then the other program that I have is I want the kids out a second chance not to be back out without resources and alternatives and when things start going bad. So we have a program called ASK that we're going to evolve to. And ASK will be teaching these kids and getting them certified so they can go back out into the community as mentors. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we'll have our own little crew of ambassador dogs that can travel with these kids. And then we have one more program that I'm going to beg your help for, which I've tracked you down forever. But it's a program called CAP, and it's been so effective in Chicago. And they actually take some of these kids that are abusers and some of the kids that have been in the program, and they teach them court etiquette and manners. And the kids actually follow abuse cases. They learn that it's not bad to be good. Mm-hmm. You know, they need to see people like you and your deputies and the police department and animal control. I'd like for them to see the ugly side of what really happens if they continue that behavior.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a good program, and it sounds like something that we probably need to do with some of these kids too, because if we don't do something with them, as you say, they're going to end up in this jail that we're building back here, mm-hmm. and that's not something that I'm interested in or hope that will happen. How can the public help you with your programs?
We'll start in January, and as we start in January, we're going to need people. We're intending to involve the entire community. This really won't work without everyone engaging. And we'd like to involve the churches in our reading programs. We'd like animal control, law enforcement, our local representatives. I'd like to pair these kids with the folks in there. And the folks in the community can come along. We're going to try to set up our facility that allow people, the kids especially off the street. We're trying to get located centrally over towards East Market Street, somewhere through there, so that our kids, when they get trouble, they can stop by. We'd like to have just plain old reading programs where the kids are comfortable to sit down and have volunteers from the community. We're going to need mentors to go back into the community with some of these kids, to go back and visit with the kids that they're trying to see. We're going to try to involve the colleges where we have some of the Big Brother type. It's not a Big Brother program, but the Big Brother type mentoring from the basketball players and the football players, someone who will make a big impact on these kids. I'd like to see them paired with that instead of walking down the street with a pit bull with a padlock and a big heavy chain on their neck and saying ugly words and not treating each other well.
Yeah. It's really, the name says it all, doesn't it? People and Paws.
Yes.
For Hope. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with one or the other. It's both. It's a team. It's a fellowship that you're trying to build here, and using animals, if you will, to teach things like accountability, responsibility, as you say, respect, and the things that can make a difference in some folks' lives. So you're a 501(c). You're attempting to raise the money for that, I take it, for this location you're talking about. You haven't gotten it yet, but you're working on that.
I haven't, and we're having our first fundraiser. We've had volunteers from the community to do fundraisers already, and we're having a fundraiser on November the 13th. The shoe market is closing down at 7 that evening, and it's going to have music and wine and food, and give us 20% of their donations for the evening.
That's on Market Street, Market?
No, yes, West Market Street Shopping Center. We'll have our website up soon, and we'll have it up by the 25th of October. So just look for our website. It's pp4h.org. And if you'll look at our website, we'll have all the volunteer opportunities, and we'll have all of our meetings and fundraisers and all of our volunteer meetings.
pp4h.org, as you say. Do you have a poster dog yet? Yeah.
I should put my Big Ben, my Pyrenees, that weighed 60 pounds when I got him, and I'm the little old lady with 160-pound Pyrenees that walks in the park every morning.
160 pounds, wow.
He's 160 pounds.
You want you to put a saddle on him. I mean, you can ride him.
Ben looks like a polar bear, and everybody knows Ben. Everybody knows him.
Well, I mean, that might be a good thing for a poster dog. I mean, you got to have some kind of thing that people can relate to as they're going along, and this may well be the thing that you got. Well, we're going to put up, as I say, your website up there, and we'd like for folks to consider what the things that you're saying here. You're going to have some brochures and some information that you can get to them and that type of thing. And if there's anyone out there, for example, who wants to be part of this program as maybe a person who would be a sponsor or whatever for some of the programs that they're doing and that type of stuff, they can contact you through this website.
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you coming in and sharing this with us. I look forward to working with you on it, and we'll see what we can do to help in any way we can. And I think that you're going to do, as always, good things, especially for the animals and for the folks that need this kind of help.
Thank you so much. It's certainly my pleasure.
Thanks for being here with us. There you have it, folks. Something else positive is happening right here in Guilford County. If you think you can help out with it, don't hesitate. Give a call. Frankie's good people. Until next time, be safe.
Purpose for building this catch basin, we've been having a whole lot of trouble with all the water that's coming down that grade right there. And it started out being kind of like a creek going through the middle of our gymnasium. And then we tried to do a little bit of grading on it. It was a little bit too wet to do it. We made a mess, and it actually got worse. And so I've been in construction for about 43 years, and that was asked what we could do to stop the water problem. And so I recommended this catch basin, this drain that's about 200 foot long. We're also going to put some gutters on these buildings. A lot of water comes down this hill. I've been told that some of the officers have been down here and seen water up on the side of this building a foot high during a heavy rain. So hopefully that water is going to be going in this hole, going down that pipe, and going down there in the middle of that pasture.
By you putting all of that cement on the inside, is they going to seal it?
Yes, sir. You are right.
So we did make enough concrete to seal the inside? You don't have to do the outside?
No, inside. That's where the water is going to be, inside here.
Water and snails.
Water and snails and stuff like that.
If it wasn't sealed, would the water seep out?
Water would probably wash out under there
And
wash out under the pipe down there.
that's what probably.
You'll see down in here we left the concrete low
Uh-huh.
to filter out the silt. And hopefully it doesn't fill up the pipe. We can take the grates off and get down in here and clean the excess mud and dirt and stuff that comes down in here out of here. Hopefully some of y'all will get interested in what we're doing here and you'll want to go into the masonry industry.
I got a buddy of mine that's in the industry.
Looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's something to do. You learn something new to me. I never did it before. I always did roofing, but this right here looks like it's pretty good to do this.
Something you might want to do after you get out?
Possibly. If I work with Mr. Redmond.
You a pretty good teacher?
Yeah, he's real good. Not only with brick mason, he does a lot of woodworking too. And stuff, you know, he builds a lot of these benches and stuff, picnic tables. What we're doing today, we're planting petunia plants and lantana. And what they're learning to do with that, we're learning how to take the soil, mix it with lime, fertilizer, get the right mixture, and then the plant comes in as a plug.
They plant the plug, water it, care for it. In 2 to 3 weeks, you'll have a full bloom on the plant. And a lot of people with the petunias, they use those in hanging baskets. Easter weekend is our busiest weekend. We look forward to, in the past, we've done anywhere between $17,000 to $18,000 in one weekend. And it usually kicks off Easter weekend, and then beyond that, they're out here every day until everything is gone. We have the butterfly bushes, we have hosta, cedar. That's some of the things we have in here. Some of the outdoor plants is low maintenance. In other houses, you have petunias, begonias, miniature roses, herbs, all kinds of spices like basil, oregano, rosemary. Then we do your vegetable plants. This year we'll do about 21 different brands of tomato plants. And so 21 different types of tomato plants. And our biggest sell on that is the German Johnson. At this particular time, when the weather's still cool, we sell a lot of broccoli, lettuce, and cabbage. And then as it warms up, you got tomato, the sweet pepper plants, watermelon, cantaloupe, you name it in the garden, we just about have it. Well, in my interaction with the inmates, take the tomatoes for instance. We have a lot of them, and me myself just thought tomatoes was tomato, but now they're learning different styles of tomatoes, different brands of tomatoes. You have canning tomatoes. You have tomatoes you use for slicing tomatoes. Same thing with the cucumber. They're learning different things about different plants and also how to nurture them and care for them. You're learning the right soil mixture for it, soil to fertilizer to lime, and getting it as a good mixture. They're learning how some plants need more water than other plants, you know. So there's a lot of different things they're learning, and just them knowing these things when they came in, they just looked at a flower or a tomato. They're knowing the different types of tomatoes, different brand types of flowers, and all of them have a different care for them. Actually, I've talked with a couple inmates that a couple of years ago, they worked in our geranium house, and they really did a good job. They're careful, and right now they're actually working in nurseries on the outside, and I've had a lot of them say they want to get into their own nursery in the future. Oh, furniture. We have the biggest seller we have is the Adirondack furniture. We have the chairs, the Adirondack picnic tables. Now we're doing arbors and bridges. The furniture sets, you can get 2 chairs, 2 footstools, and a table for $160. And it's all treated wood, it's good quality, and they do us real well this time of year. They have a picnic outdoor furniture. The inmates having something that they can nourish from the early age of it and seeing what it produces in the end, it has them have a different outlook at life, and it makes them feel like, you know, just taking time and spending time with something and putting your mind to it, how someone can develop in something. I think a lot of them take that when they leave here and use that for their everyday life.
A challenging career, great benefits, excellent salary, paid vacations, paid holidays, sick leave, and a retirement package. If this type of job opportunity appeals to you, join our team. Become a detention officer with the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. Apply online now at www.co.guilford.nc.us. We are simply the best.
You ignore the signs.
You don't want to alienate your child, so you enable.
But if you think they're trying drugs, you shouldn't be afraid.
You're the parent, and we can help, so you are able.
From the partnership and our community partners.
I'm Sheriff B.J. Barnes. 1 in 5 kids abuse prescription drugs they find in your medicine cabinet. This one died from cocaine abuse. This one from medications. They're both just as dead.